Hey everyone, welcome to Monday Night Team Call for BU here, and we are excited. Jaime Haskin here. I'm here with Sue Yount, Sally Baas, Chris Rosencrans. We're all your diamonds in the BU team page here, and so we're excited to kind of chat with you guys tonight. It's going to be informal. We're just kind of going to share some thoughts, some experiences, answer some of your questions. We asked for questions ahead of time. So we got those questions and we'll just kind of work our way through those as we go here. So we will jump right into it. And sorry, I'm just moving this so I can see the questions at the same time. All right, let's start with how do you develop, or how did you develop consistency across the 4 pillars in yourself? So for those of you who may not know what the 4 pillars are, those are recruiting, retention, duplication, and leadership. So of those 4 areas, that's pretty core in this business that we can work on in terms of skill set, in terms of basically to be successful in this business, the things that we need to grow in and to work on and to develop. So anybody want to kick that off with, you can talk about one of them or all 4 of them. Who wants to start that off?
Hey, I'll go.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go for it.
That was perfect timing, Sal. Jinx. Um, so, I think honestly, I didn't know what the four pillars were. I feel like that wasn't talked about until later on. I don't remember when that started coming up as like a training because corporate trained on that. And there was a video that I believe we still have in our team page, or I pull it up, off and on I have over the years, but there are 4 diamonds, well-known diamonds that talked about the 4 pillars. And I think if you do your business every day, if you are posting and reaching out to people and following up, then you are going to automatically start doing those 4 pillars if you're doing those things every day. And I think that's probably where the consistency came from in my own business. Is I just stayed consistent. I never stopped posting, never stopped reaching out to people, never stopped following up. The goal is to keep people on the products long term, just like I am, because that's what we want. We want people to have success with the products. So I'm recruiting, I'm retaining them. And through that, duplication happens because you're talking to people about the products. You help their people. Do you help them love it? So duplication happens. You talk to them about the business. Duplication will happen there. You teach them to do what you're doing. And then the leadership kind of comes from that. So it really comes from being consistent in all of those things. And then, of course, fine tuning if you need to grow in certain areas and too. But if you are working consistently, do it every single day. And I mean, that's just a roundabout way of saying it, but that's really what you're doing every day, is focusing on those things through your IPA.
So one thing that comes to mind, I was waiting to see if you're unmuting, Sal. One thing that comes to mind is I think personal standards matter. So who are you now in terms, and how are you going to show up? What is your standard? How do you want to show up on a normal day? What are the important things that matter to move the needle forward in your business? Like Chris was saying, it comes down to your IPA. It comes down to, these skill sets that you need to develop. So how are you going to show up as on a normal day in that activity? And then you hold yourself to that standard when it's fun and easy and when it's also hard and very difficult. Now, that's not to say life doesn't throw curveballs and you don't adjust on some of those really hard things. But as a general rule of thumb, it's going to be busy days. It's going to be hard things. So you show up as to where your personal standards are in your business. Now, when it comes to, I'll talk on leadership as one of them in terms of consistency. So that is showing up and doing the things when it's hard and showing up because it's the right thing to do, not only for me, but also for them, because it's not just about me. I'm showing up for other people. So it's leading by example. It's being present. It's showing visible leadership, whether it's adding value to people one-on-one, whether it's adding value in the team page or, you know, on these calls and writing in the comments, or what, there's lots of ways you can add value. So doing that and showing up, especially when you don't feel like it, especially when things are hard, especially when you could be doing something else, but you are showing up because it's not just about, me, it's about them. And I think that's a way to consistently, if that is your standard and your measurement for yourself, you can do that consistently on a daily basis when it comes to leadership in terms of the 4 pillars.
Yes, agree. And I think on talking about all 4 of them, not just a specific one, but all 4 of them, what really helped me be consistent and learn to be consistent in all 4 of them was when I wasn't. Because when I wasn't consistent, then guess what was happening? I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be in my business. I wasn't reaching the goals that I had set for myself when I wasn't consistent. If I didn't do my IPA for a week, guess what happened? It goes backwards, right? So just not being consistent helped me be consistent. It helped me learn that, okay, I have to take this seriously as a business and treat a business and be very consistent every day with all of the pillars if I want to move forward and move the needle forward in my business. So, if you want to quickly learn how consistency is important, don't be consistent. It will show you right there that you're not gonna move towards your goals. So consistency is everything, you guys, in all the pillars. You have to be consistent. You can't stop and start all the time, any of them, right?
The IPA chat helped me too at the very beginning, because it was like, it held me to that standard and I didn't want to be in trouble and not important. So that was my saving grace. Question number 2, what is your best advice for recruiting new hungry builders? Where are they all hiding? How do you find them? How do you develop them? How do you recruit them?
Well, I'll go in. So I think that you have got to be excited. You've got to show excitement about the business, showing up about the business on your socials, in your community, wherever that is, at Sip and Seas or whatever. You have to continue to stay excited about the business and what you're doing, and sharing that with people, in messages, messages to potentials or whatever. Because in order to recruit a hungry business builder, you have to show them what they are coming in to get, to be hungry for. Like what is exciting? What is going to be, what got you started on wanting to do this business? Think about that. What made you hungry about being a business builder here? What was it? Was it, you're talking about your pain points. What's hard for you? What Plexus could help you with, and that's really hard? Paying groceries, paying off debt, Christian education, whatever that is for you. Why did you come in and do this? So help other people see that they can, reach those goals and dreams and cross big things off their bucket list if they take this seriously and do it. So I think, yes, sometimes it feels like they're hiding, but they're not. They're out there. They are out there, and it takes a little more time when you're in a cold market. I do get that and understand that, but you have to be consistent again with being excited about the business all the time.
I echo every word. This is attraction marketing, what we're doing. And how are you attracting others? And I mean, yeah, people aren't hiding. They're out there waiting for us. And so how are you marketing it, right? Check your socials, check your conversations. how are you attracting people? And like Sal said, excitement is huge. And I think very, very key into getting people attracted to you and to your brand and our products and what we have as far as our business too. So just adding on to that, Sal, that was really good.
I want to quick mention, I think it's really important to tell people what you see in them. So that would be my biggest thing. Like, make sure you're telling people what you believe they're capable of. Offer this opportunity in a big, big way. What is possible? Where could they go with this? Share what your vision is. Where are you going? And share that they can go with you. Because if someone didn't do that for me, I would not have been here today, because I wouldn't have seen that. I didn't see that for myself. I didn't believe I was capable of something like that. I didn't see this as an opportunity. I didn't think I could do what other people are doing per se, but they believed, put that belief in me. They shared their vision and said I could go with them. So be confident for someone and give them that opportunity. I think the biggest mistake we can make is sell ourselves and them short by not telling them what is possible, what your vision is. Like Sal said, be excited, and at least offering it, right? And then you got to also keep doing it. So sharing our vision and building belief in someone isn't a one-time thing. It's not just at the beginning when they join. It's over and over. It's part of your culture. It's part of your relationship. It's part of your working together. So you got to continue to do that. Okay, next question. So how does one accomplish fast growth? And I'm going to kind of couple that with and put these together in terms of also how do you overcome when stuck? So how do you overcome when you're stuck, and how does one accomplish fast growth?
Fast growth is accomplished through creating business builders, creating silvers, developing silvers and golds. That's how you're going to accomplish fast growth. If you desire that, you can get to gold by level 1 recruits, but it's a lot easier when you are developing silvers and golds underneath you. Okay. And then you just don't stop that. Keep developing leaders, keep developing business builders. And then how did you overcome when stuck? You just keep doing it. You just keep working. Because it'll pay off. You stop the work and you're not going to get any results, right? But if you continue the work, even when you're stuck, even when it's hard, those results will come down the road. That's my quick answer.
Honestly, I feel like, you might say that you're stuck in your business, but honestly, I don't like that word sometimes because I don't know that we're ever stuck. I feel like if you're in a lull or wherever, it feels like you're stuck, but you're not really stuck. You're in a season, you're in a valley, you're in a moment in your business where it's okay, right? It happens to all of us. And you can, like Sue said, you can't stop. You got to keep being consistent with all the things, but don't think of yourself as, oh, I'm stuck again. No one is joining me. That's just a negative mindset. How about, I'm not stuck. I'm learning. That's not a failure. It's feedback right now. So what am I learning in this moment where maybe people aren't joining me so fast as other times? Why? Maybe could that be, reassessing, just checking out your business, what you are doing. Maybe you could change something, evaluating, that sort of thing. It's just, you don't want to have that. Stuck is kind of like a negative word, really. It kind of is, you don't want to have that mentality a little bit. I think that we're all going to be in our businesses, have low points in our businesses, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just, you got to shift, you got to move, you got to do something different. You got to, you know, maybe do a little more IPA than you're used to. If you're only reaching out to 1 or 2 people a day, that's got to change, right? You got to do 5+ people a day. Okay. So, I think just thinking about it in different way can be helpful in not using like a word like stuck or whatever. So yeah, in fast growth, I think that duplication, again, being excited, recruiting, and being really, passing on that excitement and that vision casting to your people and getting them excited and then duplicating that down. That's how you're going to get fast growth. And following your leaders. What are your leaders doing? They are moving up through the ranks. They've maybe, reached to the top of the company. What are they doing? What have they done? Follow them, duplicate what they've done. That's how we kind of went fast.
I'm just going to add to that real quick to just everything Sal just said and Sue just said. But it's getting laser focused, and not being afraid. Don't jump, laser focused on the things that matter. We're doing this 10X book too, and it talked about that in the introduction, is like, you need to make sure that you know what should you be spending your time on, and like really look at your business. What am I spending my time on? Am I spending too much time on the fluff, or do I need to get down to the nitty gritty? And do I need to look at and like Sal said this too, evaluate, like, okay, what does my nitty gritty look like? Are my messages not great? And this is not suddenly say like start hop, skipping and jumping to all these different tools and doing all these different things. Like, oh, because there's a lot of shiny things out there. There's a lot of shiny trainings out there, and some are good and there's good ideas, but am I sitting here? Am I producing a lot of stuff, or am I actually working? Am I just consuming a lot of information, or am I actually doing the stuff? Like, really be willing to self-evaluate. And, like, I don't love stuck either. You got to be willing to self-evaluate. What am I doing here? Do I need to change something? And just be willing to ask questions and talk to your upline and dig in to the stuff that works.
Mm-hmm. And have I changed from doing anything? If there was a time where things were going well, am I doing anything differently? Have I stopped doing something that I should be doing? For me, I know something I had noticed when I looked back, it was we weren't having new silvers. I wasn't creating new silvers. I wasn't bringing in new business builders myself. Those were the things that I needed to get a handle of and take ownership of and then duplicate. And that is what, when things kind of took a turn. So being reflective and asking those questions, that's good. Question, sorry, where am I? Gauging our time here. Book club and evening calls, if they're really hard to get on, we have a lot going on in life, be it other things you could be doing, being small children, being whatever, is it worth getting on these? Can I just watch the recording? What's the big deal between the recording and getting on live when life can be really busy?
I got lots of thoughts about that. And they're good thoughts, because you guys, I was one of those people that I did not get on team calls in book club because I was busy. I didn't have time for that. I was very happy just posting. I wish I would have recorded more. I wish I would have journaled more about some of this stuff. So for those of you who are, climbing through the ranks or just new here, start writing down some things, like, because I wish I would have known when I changed my mindset on that. Sal invited me all the time, but I don't know when I flipped from, but I did at one point, because what I've realized is that I can't do this by myself. And I don't want to do this by myself. I am so grateful for the community. And this was before BU. This was when we just had Pink Power. And I wanted to know who these people were that Sal was posting about and talking about. I wanted to know this community of people that she was getting to know. And I wanted to learn and grow more. And so this was a business meeting. My kids were little. Keaton was 5 and he was a mama's boy. He still kind of is. And he likes it when I put him to bed. Kevin doesn't read books as as well as me, I guess. I don't know. Sorry. I was reading Shelly's text. I'm in my car right now, you guys. There's just a school meeting behind me, and I'm in the car on team call. And I'm going to go back out there when this is done. I'm going to go watch my senior run her first cross country glow run with her team. Like, you can do this. I'm still busy. I was busy when my kids were 11, 9, and 5, and I'm still busy when they're 20, 18, and almost 14, or almost 18 and 14. Like, life is always going to be busy. But you know what? Kevin saw that. He saw and I'm thankful for a husband who supported me in this. And my kids, I put them to bed on time. I put them to bed early. Like, I was a teacher. I was also teaching. I had to do lesson plans. I planned field days. I had sick kids. Like, we were all busy. I just saw this as a priority. I saw that this was going somewhere, and I knew that I wanted to grow. And I talked to Kevin, and I'm like, all right, Mondays and Thursday nights, our team calls and book clubs. And I lived in Michigan at the time. Now I'm in Central Time Zone, and it's early. It's like 8 and 8:30. That's like, there's stuff going on at those times, right? So you just have to see that this is a priority. Talk with your spouse and make this a priority. Put your kids to bed. Put them to bed at 7:30. Tell you what, kids don't get enough sleep anyway. Get your kids on a routine. Get them to bed. I used to be a teacher. They don't get enough sleep. Okay, they still don't get enough sleep. Get them to bed, and so then you can listen for 30 minutes, get to know this community, and you will want to be on these calls because they will energize you. They will inspire you. You will always learn some kind of nugget of information. And it's so important to be on them because of the community. I'm just so grateful. Like, these are my best friends. Like, and now I live, in South Dakota, and I have friends that live here too, but this is where I get to see my people. Like, I love it. And yeah, I got lots to say. Obviously, I'll be quiet now, but you have to be intentional about it, you guys. You really do. And it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Mm-hmm. So good. All right. Other question is, if you feel passionate about another career or lane or you have a different job, or just you're home with your kids, whichever, how do you decide where you should focus your attention, and can you do both? Can you be successful in both? I wanted to really quick share something because I saw something on Amber Miller's story, and I actually had recorded it. It was because I knew it was going to go away, and I went back, and after I saw this question, I went back and listened to it, and I wrote down what she said because I think it's very, very powerful. So I'm going to read and tell you what she said that to me connects with this question very well. She said, when I started to value the actions I was doing, like showing up on calls, book clubs, daily IPA, when I started to value the actions I was doing because I saw where this was going to take us in 5 years, I didn't feel guilty about that. That's needed for my kids just as much as dinner on the table tonight. It's just future oriented. Your family needs you to show up in your business if you want to take them anywhere different in 5 years. Value what you are doing, and you will make time. So powerful. Not my words, hers, but I wanted to repeat those for you guys. All right, I will move on to the next question. What is the hardest lesson you've learned on your journey? Anyone want to share on that? I'll start. Okay, so one hard thing, I don't know, there's lots of hard things. I think that I had to learn that, well, I had moments where I had massive insecurities. I didn't feel like a good leader and felt like I failed big time as a leader in a lot of ways, in leading people and connecting in relationships, like in this business per se. Like, there's hard things that come up. And I had to learn that I had to do things even though I didn't feel good at it, or even though I was maybe going to do bad at it and had to like work through the hard things. And I had to take the focus off myself and my own insecurities in a lot of scenarios. And I had a lot of insecurities when it came to this business in terms of a lot of things that we have to do with this, from basic IPA to growing as a leader. And it was hard for me to even identify myself as a leader. Even as an emerald and a sapphire, I still struggled to see myself as a leader. So it didn't go away like immediately, but I think moving forward anyway, and moving forward even without the most confidence in the world, and trying to just think about others and not dwell on things and not sit in those moments and not ruminate on those things is what helped me grow through that. And it wasn't easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. So I think the hard thing is if we run away from those things or pull back because something is really hard, when we really just need to fumble through it. Anyone else on that, or should we move on?
I was going to say my confidence too, Jamie, and I didn't have a lot of confidence when I started this, and that was really hard for me to understand. And first of all, get behind doing a book club, let alone leading book club or leading a team call, because I did not feel qualified at all. Like nobody really needed to hear what I had to say or wanted to hear what I had to say. And that was a big issue for me in my confidence level, and learning that, as a leader, I needed to step up and get confident. And the only way I was going to do that is to do the team calls and the book clubs, even when I didn't feel qualified like I could. And I definitely like struggled through some of those. I would hate to go back and watch some of my first book clubs and team calls that I led, because oh my land, I think it would be so humiliating. But that is growth, you guys, and each one of you can do that. And that's what, we just showed up anyway, and we probably made fools of ourselves, and it was a struggle sometimes, but gosh, I mean, to be able to do a call like this now, without really any huge prep, just kind of winging it up with questions and stuff, that is a testament to my confidence level and how I've grown through the years. So that is a huge thing for me that I've overcome. That was hard, really, really hard, but I'm so proud of myself for, right? And I don't say that to brag or anything. I say that to offer encouragement that you guys can do this when it doesn't feel like you can, because I have been there so many times. And trust me, I was like the least person that you would ever think would do something like this. But you can do it. You just have to be willing to, and grow through the embarrassing moments and stuff. But yeah, so.
All right. Well, there are a few more questions, but I will just jump to a last one because I want to honor you guys' time tonight here, but I want to ask one more at least here. So what kind of mindset does a future legacy diamond need to have in order to keep going in those early ranks, or in general?
A rock solid mindset, but also one that gives yourself grace, because you're going to need grace through the journey. You're going to need to give yourself grace through the journey, but you need a rock solid mindset to get there. And what that looks like is doing what your sponsor and leader tells you to do. And that means getting on book club, getting on team call, doing the self-growth books, podcasts, taking time to invest in yourself. And that's, you know, that's gonna help you have that rock solid mindset that you're gonna need. But also making room for grace. So that would be my quick thoughts on that question.
Well, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I say you go. You go first. I will say something, but
Okay. Okay. Well, what I just want to say is I can tell you what kind of mindset not to have to be a star diamond. And that is a victim mindset. That is a scarcity mindset. That is a mindset of negativity, and of like being stuck, and all those mindsets got to go in the trash. You guys, you got to have an abundance mindset. You have to have a positive mindset in all things. And I'm not saying this is easy. It is intentional work every day to have this kind of mindset. But all four of us diamonds are working towards being, you know, 5, 4, 5, 6-star diamonds. Okay. That's our goals, is to get there. So we're still working through all of this too. Right. And so you cannot have these negative mindsets. There is no room for them at all. Okay. So you need to think about, when you're feeling like being tugged in that direction, like this is not the mindset of a star diamond, right? And you got to flip it. Go ahead.
That's so good, Sal. And really, a lot like this is along both of those lines. You need to just stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane, and don't, just know that you can do this too. It's going to look different from the people around you. Everybody's story is different, but you can do this too. Some people, yes, they've done it quickly. Some people, it took them years to get. Some people, it took them 6 months, a year to get to silver. You know, some people, like, everybody is in a different place in their journey because of life, because of the relationships they've built, and because of just where they are in life. But if you are willing to grow and be positive and grow and believe in yourself and give yourself grace and know that you are on a path that God has definitely have you here. This is not an accident that any of you are here. This is not an accident. This is God ordained. I 1000% believe it, because I prayed for this. I prayed for this 3 years before Plexus came. And so I knew that when this showed up, and I didn't believe it, I was super skeptical, you guys, but I just kept doing. I just had a mindset of growth and loving people, and just doing that over and over and over again in whatever area they needed it in their life. And that's just really simply what we do here. And if you do that over and over again, and stay in your lane, and don't get caught up in what everybody else is doing and follow all the shiny stuff, but yet be willing to grow and all that, you have to find those balances. Getting on here with all of us and plugging in, it's just, believe it, you guys, believe it. It will happen. It will. If it can happen for me, if it can happen for Sal, Sue, and Jamie, it can happen for all of you. But you have to believe it and then work like it. You have to work. You have to pick up the shovel. You have to do the work. You can't just sit back and wait. You have to do the work.
Everything worthwhile is uphill, right? You guys have heard that phrase before. It's not supposed to be easy. Life isn't promised to be easy for us. It's quite the opposite, right? God says we're going to have trials, and when we do anything in life and pursue something and have purpose in it, find purpose in it, then it is absolutely worth it. It's not just what happens this week or this month. The mindset is having a mindset of purpose for the impact of this and for the future, right? Like Amber Miller had said that what I had shared 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's not this month, and whether this month is fantastic and exactly what I wanted it to be, or whether it was bad or whatever it is, that isn't the mindset. Like, that's not where I'm sitting and what I'm basing my decisions off of. I am working for a bigger picture. I'm looking down the road. It's a part of, where I find purpose and how I can be a part of something bigger than myself and how I can add value to other people. And it's not just about me. And it's okay knowing and having the mindset that it is okay to do things and not be great at it. You should absolutely develop skill sets. You can't just keep willy-nilly doing whatever and not trying. That's not my point, but you develop the skill sets, but you're not going to be the best at everything. And for me, I wasn't great at a lot of things. I had to do a lot of things, scary and all the things, but you can develop the skill sets, and it's necessary for growth. It's necessary to do things before you're ready, whether or not you're afraid, out of your comfort zone, when you're failing and learning from it, and failure becomes feedback, like mentioned earlier, it is necessary. So if your mindset knows that you're going to have great things happen and you're going to have things that are difficult, and that it is normal and it is good, it's good for you, it's good for who you become so that you can lead people later. It's good so that you become the person you need to be for where you're going to be in 5 years. And when we know that this is a part of the process and that we can lean into that, and it's not reflection of who we are and whether we're successful or capable or not, then we get to release that, right? We get to let go of whatever external things are happening and whatever we attach to that, and know that we are in it for this down the road. We are in it because it is helping us grow, and we're adding value, and it's a part of a bigger picture. So I think that detaches us from those little hard things, or it helps us move through the little hard things, or the big hard things. All right, you guys, thank you for being on tonight. Any of you other ladies want to say something in closing, or you good? All right. Well, we will wrap that up. We went a little bit over, but thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for asking the questions and just being on here with us tonight. We love just being able to be here with you guys and see your faces and be a part of this with you guys. I can speak for us all. We absolutely love this community. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Have a good night.